Thorns of the Waking Court, a video book, brought to you by SDC Multimedia. Chapter 4. The First Trial. Twilight deepened in Thorn Court, but it never fell. The hour had no end, no edges, only the quiet suffocation of time wrapped in root and shadow. Calla stood at the window of her borrowed chamber, fingertips pressed to the cool lattice of vine-carved wood. Beyond, the kingdom below unfolded in impossible tiers, bridges spun from silver thread, root spires rising like the bones of forgotten gods, and lanterns drifting in eerie patterns that almost resembled constellations, but not the ones she remembered from the mortal world. The sky here never turned, no dawn, no dusk, only that heavy, endless twilight pressing in on all sides. Somewhere below, the grove pulsed, not in malice, in expectation. A knock came, not the sharp demand of a guard, nor Riven's casual rap. This was softer, measured. The door opened before she could answer. Elias stood there, cloak dusted with moss fragments, steel feather mask tucked beneath one arm. "It's time." "For what?" Her voice rasped. She had slept little. Dreams had been a tangle of roots and voices not her own. "The first trial," he said simply. The hollow awaited. The path to the great hall spiraled downward, longer this time, or so it seemed. The roots shifted underfoot, almost reluctant to carry her forward. Elias walked at her side without speaking. His silent presence steadied her, though she barely knew him. The ache at her wrist pulsed beneath her skin, the root mark faintly glowing beneath the sleeve of her gown. A new gown, deeper moon silk, veined with silver this time. They dressed her like a fey prize about to be displayed. The root warden's judgment had not been enough. The court demanded spectacle, proof, blood, fear. They crossed into the hollow. The ceiling stretched into dark infinity, lanterns floating like captive stars beneath the great dome. Balconies thrummed with masked courtiers, rows upon rows, draped in thorn-wrought silks, glass feathers, and bone. No faces, only eyes glittering through ornate masks. Riven waited at the foot of the dais ramp, silver-stitched coat catching the light. His mirrored mask reflected her approach, a ghost-like version of herself walking to her own doom. "Our witchling returns," he drawled, but his tone held a tightness, unease. "I'm not. You are, whether you will it or not." He offered a hand. She did not take it. Above, a single bell tolled. The king had arrived. Aerith's cloak spilled like midnight rain as he stepped to the balcony rail. No mask. His luminous eyes swept the gathered crowd, then rested, steady, unyielding, on her. "The grove delivered a challenger," he said, voice carrying as if the hollow itself spoke with him. "Let the trial judge her worth." A ripple passed through the court. Every noble tapped their right hand to their mask. Submission or anticipation. Elias's quiet breath stirred behind her. "Stay still, stay proud." The arena rose. Roots curled up from the obsidian floor, weaving into a broad circle at the dais center. The outer edge gleamed silver green, ancient runes pulsing like the heartbeat of something old and restless. Calla stepped forward as the arena completed itself beneath her feet. On the far side, a figure emerged. Not a monster, not a knight. A girl, her age, maybe younger, braided dark hair, court-slim shoulders wrapped in a faded violet gown. One of her pointed ears had been severed at the tip. Root scars veined her arms, glowing softly, marking her as touched by the grove. "Alira," Elias spoke low behind Calla. "She's from the Hollow Courts, a supplicant. They offered her as your adversary." "Why?" "Because no matter who wins, the court feeds." The trial keeper approached. A robed figure, mask blank but for a black teardrop beneath one eye, raised a staff wrapped in silvered vines. By the right of thorn and breath, judgment begins. No steel, no magic beyond what the grove allows. The grove will decide worth. Alira's eyes met Calla's. No hatred. Only weariness, as if this fate had been coming for her long before Calla ever arrived. I don't want to fight you. The thought came unbidden. But it didn't matter. The court would have its violence. The trial keeper struck the floor. The arena's runes flared. Vines lashed upward, thorned and swift. They came not from the two girls, but from the grove itself. Whips of living root struck the air between them, faster than thought. Calla dodged. Barely. The scent of moss and iron filled her lungs. Alira rolled aside, thorns slicing her gown. Blood beaded on her arm. The runes brightened. Blood fed the grove. The vines attacked again. This time not blindly. Testing, learning. One coiled for Calla's throat. She ducked instinctively, breath tearing from her lungs. Another grazed her shoulder, cutting through moon silk. Warmth bloomed across her skin. Blood. Again. The runes pulsed. The arena wanted their deaths. No. Calla's wrist burned, root mark flaring. The same instinct that had guided her with the root warden's surged now. She exhaled, deliberate, defiant. Silver mist curled from her lips, threading toward the vines. One whip paused. Not in confusion, in acknowledgement. Alira faltered, watching. The grove listens to you. Calla's breath came sharp. I don't want to fight. Alira's eyes darkened. But I must. Phase 2 began. The vines shifted. No longer whips, they formed weapons. One unfurled into a spear of bark and thorn, its edge glistening with sap. Another hardened into a shield shape rooted in the arena floor. A test of will, of choice. Alira seized the spear. Calla did not move. Take the shield, Alira whispered hoarsely, or you'll die. I won't. The court stirred. Masks leaned forward. Murmurs rippled, some curious, some amused. The witch refuses to arm herself. Alira lunged. The spear's edge caught Calla's sleeve, cutting but shallow. Calla didn't retreat. She caught the shaft of the weapon instead, halting the strike. I won't kill you. Then you'll die, Alira hissed. The vines struck again, this time aiming not at Calla, but at Alira's back. Punishment for hesitation. Calla yanked the girl aside, the spear dropping between them. The vine whip cracked across Calla's shoulder, searing pain down her spine. Blood spattered the floor. The arena roared, not with sound, but with roots. A great, groaning movement beneath the floor. Blood, breath, bone. The root warden stirred at the dais edge. Its amber core glowed. Runes blazed silver. The vines reared for a killing blow. Calla shoved Alira behind her. She inhaled, not fear, not surrender, choice. Her breath became silver mist again, pouring toward the attacking vines. The whips stilled. The arena shifted. The runes rewrote themselves. Yield nothing. Take breath. Give blood freely. The vines recoiled. Roots burst between the girls, not to strike, to form a wall, a shield, a judgment. The grove answered. The root warden lowered its head. The trial ends. The trial keeper's staff struck the floor once. Silence gripped the hollow. Even the drifting lanterns paused. Aftermath. Elias descended the ramp, cloak brushing the obsidian floor. You turned the trial into an alliance, he said quietly, offering his hand. Calla took it, breath shallow. Her body ached, but her resolve had never felt sharper. And that, Elias added, will earn you enemies. And allies, she rasped. Perhaps. His gaze flicked to the balconies, where masked nobles leaned forward, calculating, scheming. Riven appeared at her side, mirrored mask catching the silver-green light. You've surprised them all, even Aerith. Calla glanced upward. The king stood unmoved at the balcony's edge. His silver eyes betrayed nothing, but something shifted there. Not victory, not approval. Respect. Court reactions rippled. Masks turned. Murmurs rose like restless birds. Already wagers would change. Alliances would shift. Enemies would choose new weapons. The Hollow was not done with her. The king's voice cut through the din. She survives the first trial. The court shall reconsider its wagers. The crowd answered with the ritual tap of hands to masks, submission or challenge. The grove pulsed beneath Calla's feet, its silent whisper returning. Blood, breath, bone. She was not a sacrifice anymore. She was a player, and the next move would be hers. End of chapter 4.